Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another Q&A video. So this is probably the last Q&A video of 2019. So thank you everybody that watches these Q&As. I personally enjoy just doing them. It's good interaction with you guys, and you know, I've always said it's like my little catchphrase with this little series is when I wasn't a YouTuber, and even with me being a YouTuber, someone that I watched, I wanted to ask them a question. How the hell do you get that done? It's nearly impossible a lot of the time. So I try to do these, and I will say a lot of the inspiration, you know, where did the idea of doing Q&As from? For me personally, obviously they've been a thing probably for 100 years for humans, but one of my favourite YouTubers of all time is a guy called Jesse Cox. I've been to his convention. I met him a couple years ago. Maybe I'll put up the picture on the screen now. So I'm a massive fan of his, and he used to do something called Revenge of the Q&A. Doesn't really do it as much anymore, but that was kind of the idea. And obviously I've been doing Q&As for years myself now, so yeah. Anyway, we got a bunch of questions. We're probably going to go longer than normal because it is kind of the end of year special. So we normally go for half an hour. Maybe we'll go for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, possibly. It depends, you know, we have a lot of questions, and the kind of cool thing is that I'm recording this as more questions are coming in, so we'll go through as many as we possibly can. So the kind of parameters are obviously that people can ask pretty much about anything. A lot of these are going to be obviously League of Legends focused, gaming focused, YouTube, Twitch, those are the main things. So yeah, again, firstly, I just want to say thank you so much, and as a thank you to you guys who watched the Q&A, by the time this video comes out, I'm pretty sure we'll have the league partner codes. Oh, sorry, we'll have the league partner codes for Akali and Vladimir on the screen. If you want to enter that, just, you know, be a subscriber, throw a like on the video, and throw a comment. Make sure you include your summoner name and region, and just say, how did 2019 go for you? I will also mention we will be doing my, you know, New Year's resolution video. Maybe we'll end up as a second video of the day. Well, will be a second video of the day, or it might end up on the second channel nowadays. I'm not really sure. But that is a tradition that we do here at Huzzy Games. And I will say just straight away, the cool thing is if you guys know what my resolution has been for the past few years, we've relatively achieved that. So yeah, we're kind of moving on. Instead of like losing weight, it's more about actual fitness now, which is pretty damn cool. But anyway, let's begin. So the first one is, what are my thoughts on the Game Awards? So some people may not even know, but there is you know, an official Game Awards now that is hosted by Jeff something. I think he used to work, or still does work, for like YouTube corporate, something like that. But anyway, he's now got his own thing going, and it's the Game Awards, and it's been running for the past couple of years. It's getting bigger every single year. I have watched, you know, the show. I wouldn't say to its full. I generally keep to the highlights the next day, because I will be honest, I'm not a massive award show person. A lot of it is, you know, kind of fluff that you don't really care about. Like I you know, the game that won Game of the Year, I can see it's right on my like PlayStation 4 game there. I think Death Stranding won. I found that game garbage, but it won Game of the Year. So like that's why, you know, award shows are kind of like kind of pointless, because like it depends who's awarding it. It depends who's voting. So yeah, but for what it is, I think it's pretty cool. I think it is cool that like the gaming industry is getting more recognized every single year. It's becoming more of a normality every single year. And yeah, I've said it, I'm only 25 years old. When I was growing up, the idea of being a gamer, a bit of a nerd, was a really negative thing. It was even worse. If you're watching this and you're 35 years old, I'd imagine it was even worse for you in school. But now it's becoming the norm. The average kid, I guess, is a gamer nowadays. So it being normalized with, you know, mainstream stuff like award shows, I guess is good in the end, just to normalize it. The thing that I'm more interested in like this award show is the announcements, not the actual awards, because like I said, the awards are opinion based, and I have a different opinion, they have a different opinion, it depends who's voting for it. It's the announcements. So on the, if you didn't watch the show, they have their own YouTube channel, obviously, The Game Awards. And yeah, all the announcements are on there. Riot announced 2 new games during the Game Awards. One of them, did they say what both of them are? One of them is a turn-based RPG. That's the Ruined King one, by the way. So you're playing as League characters in Bilgewater, and you're searching for something. I can't remember what. But that's cool. Like, it's kind of like an old school Final Fantasy. We don't know what the graphic style is or anything like that. We don't know if it's like 3D world or is it like 2D kind of. No idea. And then they announced another one, but I can't for the life of me remember what that one was. So yeah, Riot announced 2 games. We got obviously in the Game Awards itself, we got the announcement for the Xbox Series X, the next generation Xbox. We got the unofficial, if you want, PlayStation 5 announcement that they didn't say, here's the PlayStation 5 and how it looks, but they said, here's our launch title and PlayStation 5 summer 2020. So that was kind of an announcement. So it's cool. I like it. But yeah, as for the actual awards itself, I couldn't care less. Personally. But yeah, someone is also saying, aside from that, what do I think of this year league-wise? Was it a good season in my opinion? No. No, it was not. I don't think many people are gonna like be surprised. So I've played the game every single season. So I'd say I've got a pretty strong opinion, pretty like, I don't know, solid opinion about League as a entity. If you picked up League in season 3 or season 4, well, you missed the early seasons when it was pretty rough. So I've got a nice span of like what the game was like throughout the whole history of the game. The worst season was season 6. I now would put season 9 as the second worst season. For a number of reasons. We've gone throughout them the whole year. I don't want this video to have a negative tone, but I would say season 9 was the second worst in terms of like quality and, you know, ranked quality. And by the way, if you're like a normal player or more casual player, it may have not impacted you at all. And you're like, this season's been pretty good. And by the way, of champion releases and all that, that's been pretty exciting. But actual for like my ranked experience, yeah, season 6 was worse, but this season was pretty close. And that's probably what I'd say. But yeah, not the best season. Hoping a lot from season 10. Next next question is, what do I want to achieve next year? By the way, keep up the good work. Relatively broad question. What do I want to achieve next year? Again, I will probably go into more detail if we do the New Year's video, but it's to continue doing what we're doing here. YouTube and Twitch, it's going really well, and I am pleased to say, and I know not everything is a monetary thing, but we are more solid now than we ever have been. My job is more secure now than it ever has been. We're earning very decently, and it's just been, you know, solid for months. So I thank you for that, because obviously as a YouTuber, you do get worried about certain things. I don't know how much I'm making next month, unlike like a regular job that you have a salary, etc. So obviously that's a massive thank you to you guys, but I will keep pumping out, you know, pretty much 2 videos a day every day. Which a lot of my friends, by the way, in the background do call me crazy and say you should be not doing that. But we are for now. And I will say that could change if things change in my life. You know, if things happen that I want to go do other things in real life and I literally don't have time to do real things in my real life and, you know, live a little bit and do 2 videos a day every day, then yeah, I do need to live a little bit. So we'll see how that goes in 2020. But yeah, like YouTube and Twitch maintain that. I am obviously looking to potentially buy a house now next year. But I am also in the back of my mind thinking of that, what is it, the Copa thing? It shouldn't, by the way, affect me. My channel is not for kids. You know, if you just kind of go off, you know, by the way, when they say kind of kids, they're kind of talking about 13 years and younger. Is kind of what YouTube are aiming that at. Like, if your content's for 8-year-olds, then you could be in trouble with Copa, whatever the hell. League of Legends as a video game, I'm pretty sure itself is a 13+ game. So because I make League of Legends content, in the eyes of YouTube and Copa and everything, my content should be at least 13 years plus. By the way, there's already been a way that YouTubers have spoken about it in the background that obviously is annoying and terrible. But if like you obviously do not want to be branded as a kids channel, which will hurt your channel a lot, by the way, all you got to do is swear at the beginning of your video. I know that sounds crazy, but you know, like there are some people that do like my intro, hey guys, Huz here. All you've got to do is like, hey, and call you guys something else. Like as a joke, but that would legit stop you being a kids channel. If your first 2 words, there's like a, hey, like, you know, anything, yeah, instantly that would fix the problem. So that is obviously a workaround to a lot of YouTubers. Like, I've already heard people say, yeah, I'm going to just change my intro to like swear at my audience at the beginning of the video. So yeah, that's kind of a funny thing. But as long as that doesn't really negatively impact me, I think 2020 is going to be a fantastic year. 2019 for me has been pretty good, at least the tail end of the year. But I think 2020 is probably going to be better. But I don't want to go into too much detail because we do the New Year's video. Next up is what advice would I give people trying to pick up jungle for Season 10? Prioritize dragons is my big advice. It literally, you guys have seen it throughout the year, has driven me mad when a jungler never used to prioritize dragons or they just ignored them. It's been that has even been bigger in preseason. When you have that jungler that just is ignoring the dragon, like completely, like you can just tell in their playstyle, dragons are not on their radar. Don't do that. Dragons are very important at the moment. If you generally, I'd love if, we had the data to it. I don't think we do. I'm sure Riot does. Maybe I could get my hands on it. What is the win percentage of the team that gets the Dragon Soul? So whichever team gets to the 4th dragon first, what is the win percentage of the game? It has to be over 70%, right? It has to be, maybe even 80%, because that's the priority of the game. So, it would be interesting to know that, but yeah. Prioritize dragons is my main advice there. Next up is, do I think Riot should take a player poll before making changes on the map/champions? No, because the average player has no idea what game balance or design is. And I know that's a harsh thing to say, but I've recently basically quit League of Legends Reddit. I don't go on anymore because it was literally honestly annoying me, the opinions on there, that they were just clueless. And it's not their fault, and it's not trying to be elitist or anything, but the average player is in silver, and let's say on Reddit the average player is slightly above the average League player, so there'll be high silver, low gold will be the average League of Legends Redditor. They have no idea what game balance is, at all. Like, there's so many of their opinions are just like, that is just wrong. But like, it'll get 1,000 upvotes because it's all the other low gold players thinking that's correct. It's just simply not. So if you went off like the bulk, League of Legends Reddit, amazing brain mode, and you went off what they think balance would be, League of Legends would be really broken, like way more broken than it is now. So no, like, leave that to the professionals, and yes, they can get things wrong, but on average, they don't do a terrible job, I think. And I know some people will probably like put me on the firing line for that, going, what are you talking about? It's really hard to balance a game. Like, I know, I can call back from my, past with game design and stuff. It's let alone hard to balance individual weapons in a single player game that I did a few years ago, let alone a multiplayer game with nearly 150 champions with God knows how many items. That's very hard to do. And occasionally little things are gonna just slip through the crack every now and then. And I will say, what really doesn't help them is the PBE is not a practical place. What I mean by that is the PBE, weirdly, is a really toxic environment from two things. One, there's a lot of toxic people on the PBE, apparently, when you're just playing the games. Secondly, people ban the new thing. Like, oh, Aphelios is coming out, let's play him to balance him. And I've heard people go, yeah, he's permabanned. You never can play the new champion when you're on the PBE. So that's just pointless. So I think the PBE really doesn't help them. I have also heard in the background, by the way, of people that do play the PBE, if they find something broken or overpowered, they do not report it on purpose to kind of hide it for when it goes on live servers, they then play it to abuse it to get LP. I've heard that's also a thing, which obviously is not good for your testing environment. So I really do think they need to maybe, if going forward in League, invest really heavily into a better testing environment, have better incentives for people reporting things like, oh, this is broken, that's a bug. That would be really good. Maybe influence points, the currency of League, you get that for every report that you've been proven correct in, or something like that. Because in the grand scheme of things, all you've got really to balance League of Legends is a balanced team that I think consists of, let's say, 10 to 20 designers. You then have the playtest team, which is consisting of ex-pros and high-rating solo queue players that have applied to the job. Generally, there's not many of those, 10 to 15 of those players maximum. So in essence, to balance the whole League of Legends game, and we're talking about, every server, every, whatever, 30 to 40 people. That's not a lot. That's where I say, maybe they need to have more people on the balance team, more people play testing internally with Riot, But investing in a PBE also, you know, a better testing environment would probably be a great way to do it as well. But I will say props to Riot, though. You know, I'm part of the League Partner Program. They have been inviting way more people in to test things. So, unfortunately, it only generally is North American people, which is a bit annoying. But I know I have friends in the League Partner thing that, you know, the champion comes out and they were like, oh, yeah, I play tested that. But I've said it in the past, generally they're only inviting relatively the same people. So let's, for example, say they did the Garen rework. They would invite the regulars, so, you know, Scara, PewDiePie, etc. They get the regulars in to see what they think, but then they'll get, like, one main of that, and I think that the Garen one was Risty or something, and obviously that Garen rework, he's apparently sad about it. It didn't work out, and Garen's a Garen, that he's back to being kind of useless and high rating, but that's just the example, is that they'll get the regular people that play test internally, they'll get the same group of people in that they always invite, and then they'll get one or two mains of content creator and they'll fly them in. I think a good thing would be is expand that a little bit more. And, you know, I'm not just saying, oh, get me in there. No, but when you're inviting the same people all the time, they're going to have always the same mentality. It's probably good to get different mentalities in for game balance and design, not just have the same people that you usually agree with or you usually disagree with. Mix it up a little bit, and I do think that would help a lot too. All right, next up is someone is saying, my thoughts on recent tier lists. I don't pay attention to tier lists because I think they're a complete and utter noob bait. So we've done one tier list the past few years on my channel, and it wasn't a standard tier list. It was a opinion tier list. I was like, do I like that champion or do I hate that champion? It had really nothing to do with the strength of the champion at all. It was more to do with the design. Yeah, I here at Huzzy Games, I would say completely ignore every single tier list that it literally is. And I know some people will probably be like, oh, really? I go by tier lists all the time. Yeah, generally, I do call tier lists a noob bait and easy content. And, you know, I've got friends that make tier lists, and hopefully they, you know, everyone can think different things, and I genuinely think tier lists will probably hurt you way more as a player than help you, because they're a complete and utter noob bait. So yeah, I'd ignore them, because like there are some tier lists out there that you'll probably look at them and go, oh, that's an S tier thing, and then, you know, the general premise of it, oh, that's an S tier thing, I'll pick that up, and then you suck as a player with that champion, and you go, oh, this sucks, because a tier list isn't going to what you personally can play. It's the opinion of whoever's making that tier list. It's what they think. That's it. So my advice, straight up with tier lists, is completely ignore them completely. If you want to know what is strong in the meta, go on one of the statistic websites and look at what the ban rate and what the pick rate is in Diamond Plus. And whatever is a really high pick rate and a really high ban rate, if they're kind of merging over, that's what you should be looking to play when it's not banned or picked. That is a way higher indication of what's strong in the meta than any tier list would be. So yeah, I would completely ignore every tier list possible. Next up is, what are my thoughts about Pokemon Sword and Shield? Did I like it, even though you didn't upload myself playing it? Well, I did. The second channel had about 5 or 6 hours of me playing it. And there were people kind of going, you know, hey, where's more of this? And the answer was, I completed the game in between recording, like after a recording session. I loved it. Like, I know the internet is a relatively hateful place, and people jump on hate wagons. They'll hate people out of basically nowhere. They get kind of obsessive over hating things instead of loving things. I don't know even where the hate came from. I loved that game, like completely and utterly loved Pokemon Sword and Shield. I personally played Pokemon Sword? No, Shield. I played Shield because the dog looks less dumb. So yeah, no, I loved it. I blitzed through that game in like 2 days. Haven't done much of the end game, it has to be said, because I'm a bit busy. So I haven't completed the Pokedex. Some of my friends have, but I haven't completed the Pokedex. I haven't done any shiny hunting. I haven't made my, you know, PvP team yet, which we will get around to doing, you know, when it's the holiday season and I'm kind of downstairs with family or traveling traveling to go see family. I'm sure I'll have my Switch kind of playing in that traveling time, and get a lot of things done then probably. But no, I loved it. It was my favorite Pokemon game, most likely since if I'm honest, it was probably my favorite Pokemon game since Ruby. And I've played every single generation. Sun, Pokemon, oh, I say that. I have played every single game, but Pokemon Sun and Moon, I completed one of the islands and then I stopped the game because I did not enjoy myself. So that's the only Pokemon game that I've never completed, was Pokemon Sun and Moon. But yeah, as for Sword and Shield, I absolutely loved it. And I do intend to do some PvP stuff, and we will most likely be doing that on stream in the new year, every now and then, just kind of going, hey, let's do some Pokemon duels with like Twitch subscribers and stuff. Next up is where are the Clash videos, Famalam. Unfortunately, don't have a Clash team. So the annoying thing when you're a content creator is, you know, a lot of the time you want to do Clash with other content creators to make, you know, cool content. It's really hard to organize content creators together. Like really difficult. Everyone's busy, and, you know, especially this time of year, it's December. You will know this. I don't have to hide it. It's the highest CPM month of the year, so everybody's all guns blazing on making as much content as possible. Obviously, I always make a lot of content, so it doesn't really change what I do, but it's just hard to organize it all together. We were going to play, and then unfortunately, you know, my normal lot, Fi, got sick, so we didn't. And then, you know, it was like 1 week later, there was another Clash weekend, and then I've been busy, so I haven't been able to like talk to anybody about it. But in the new year, what we're going to be doing, you know, Vixie obviously is quite keen to get a Clash team going. I'm going to just really sit down with some of my friends and just be like, you know, do you want to be part of my Clash team? If it's a maybe, then that's a no. I need to organize 5 people that are dedicated to play when Clash is up. So I'm going to do that in the new year, and that will bring you guys Clash content. But unfortunately, yeah, no Clash content over the last couple of weeks, which is unfortunate because I do really want to play it. You know, I do have another friend group, you know, people, if you've been around for a while, the likes of Jeebers and Galzik and stuff. The problem with it is we're vastly different ratings. And unfortunately, the way that Clash mode works is it goes off the highest rated player on the team to make it fair, because then all you do is have a diamond player playing with like their silver friends, and the diamond player would wreck. So it has to be balanced to the other way. So if my kind of like World of Warcraft friend group, who I've known for 10 years, if we did Clash together, they'd most likely just get stomped by high diamond players in tier 1 of Clash. So that just wouldn't really be fun or balanced. And I'm, as a, by the way, in Clash, you're not allowed to smurf if you're found on a smurf account. And by the way, this is for everybody, just as a PSA, your account will get banned from Clash access. And people are reporting people for smurfing. And apparently, I've already spoken to a rioter, people are getting banned quite quickly from playing Clash on those smurf accounts. But especially as a league partner, obviously I'd never break the rules, etc. So yeah, can't play with that friend group. So in the new year, we will organise, hopefully, a like legitimate Clash team. Next up is, will I play Skarner? No, I do not like Skarner at all. Apologies. He's incredibly easily countered in a solo queue match. Again, people say, what about he was played in Worlds or whatever. In a, you know, pro game where you have synergy, team comp, knowing you've got a Skarner, you can kind of make it work a little bit better. But in solo queue, to me, you need the synergy of a team comp to make Skarner work, and you're not going to have that team synergy in a solo queue game. So, and I personally just don't like playing Skarner anyway. And some of the final one, before I refresh to see if there's any more, do I like playing Maud? Yeah, he's relatively fun. He's kind of got like a set thing going that he's pretty damn basic to play. There's nothing much to him, but it's fun to do. So, yeah. All right, next up, I did a refresh, and we have a lot more, apparently. Jesus Christ. Let me just sort by newer ones. Okay, so... yep, done that one. Here we go. What champions would you like to see on the rework voting list this year? So remember, Riot do kind of now a yearly vote on champions that they know all of them are going to get a rework, but what order do the community want? Last year it was what, like Fiddlesticks, Volibear, Wukong was one, I think. And again, they do them all, but it's just like which ones will have bigger reworks, which ones will be smaller reworks. And obviously in that list, Volibear and Fiddle were getting full reworks. Wukong is getting a partial rework, I think. So in this upcoming year, what would I want to see on that list? As this person says, Shyvana, Nocturne, and Dr. Mundo should be on the list. If I'm not mistaken, Shyvana might be already getting a rework. That does ring a bell. So Shyvana might already be getting one, maybe. But what would I want to see on the voting list? On the voting list, Udyr, I think, definitely, because he's you know, it's a cool idea, a man druid thing. Yeah, I think he bring him to modern terms. That would be kind of cool. So Udyr, because I just don't think he's great right now. And again, the sign of a champion that I think needs to get reworked, just to put it out there. And again, worth noting, this isn't a hate at one tricks, but if a champion's primarily players are one tricks, then I think the champion should get a rework, because the idea of a league champion should be, you know, it's viable to play for anybody, but there'll always be a one-trick community for every champion. But if the only community that is playing that one champion is a one-trick community, then it's not accessible to the greater public. Then it should get a rework. Because the one tricks will still play it after it's reworked. It's been shown that people do. As long as it does keep to relatively the same design. I know Aatrox is one that a lot of people obviously were outspoken about. It changed too much. And I think Riot has learned from that, by the way. I don't think they're going to do that again. So like with the Fiddlesticks and Volibear rework, I think the core fundamentals of their champions will stay the same. And any rework that they do from now on, I think will relatively stay the same. So yeah, I think Udyr, because he's got he's a pretty much he's an old school champ that's not that useful. What else? Like, I think Udyr might be the champion that I would just be like, Huz, what champion would you rework right now? Udyr, probably, because I think he could be really cool. I just don't think he is now. Apart from that, I don't know. Again, Quinn, 100% Quinn. Yeah, Quinn and Udyr. There you go. Those are my two. Rework both of them. Quinn is a champion without a role. She's not a top laner, let's be honest. She's not a jungler. She's not an AD carry. The only really people that play her are one tricks that just love the playstyle, which is fair enough. I think if they did a rework and gave her an actual role, I think that would be a lot healthier. And I've said why. Riot have even said, why does that champion not have a role? Why is she relatively unhealthy? She's either overpowered or useless, because in the design of that champion, they legit changed the whole champion with only a few weeks to go. She was a melee assassin the whole way through development, the whole way. And then some higher up at Riot or something happened that was like, oh no, we can't have another melee assassin. Maybe another champion just came out recently. She needs to now be made ranged. So that's why she's got this weird mixture of like an AD carry basically having a diving ultimate to be in melee range. That doesn't sound smart. So she's got like this weird hybrid thing going. So when you do a rework, either make her a melee assassin or make her an AD carry. The weird mixture just doesn't really work. So yeah, I'd say Quinn and Udyr are my two. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. Someone's saying, as someone who does both streaming and YouTube, what do I enjoy doing more? It's a weird one because it depends the day. There are some when a Twitch stream or a stream in general is going well, it's an amazing feeling because you have hundreds of people watching, you're having a fantastic time, people are laughing, you're laughing, jokes are flying. It's great. That's a wonderful feeling. But when it's the same opposite, when it's going bad, it's a horrible feeling. When you're having a bad game, whatever, if there's a hater that's like harassing you, whatever it may be, when it's live, it feels worse when there's people witnessing it. On YouTube, it's neither an incredible high or incredible low because it's already been done. This video I'm recording, whenever you're watching this, I recorded this a few days ago. So, there's no interaction really. So YouTube is kind of like the steady neutral. That it's never a really crazy high or it's never a really crazy low. It's kind of just steady Eddie, right? Obviously, it does have its up moments and down moments. Oh, that video that I did on set, hey, it's already broken 20,000 views in 2 days. That's great. Oh, God, that video that I made on whatever, it hasn't even broken 10,000 views. What's going on? Stuff like that, Oh, God, my video got demonetized. What the hell? So that does hurt YouTube, but it's a lot more steady. Where Twitch, I'd say if I had to give a percentage, I'd say 80% of my streams are good. 80% are positive, fun, great. 20% of them, so basically 1 in 5, it's a bit like, ugh, that could have been better. And it does happen, it definitely does happen. You watch any streamer that is, especially what I'd say is on camera, that you can't really hide, you're talking on mic. Yeah, it gets a bit, iffy every now and then. I'd say I've gotten a lot better with it over the years. One of the biggest advices that I've always had to people of like, I want to start streaming, I want to start YouTube. Expect internet hate. The internet, as I said earlier, it's a hateful place. I've gotten so much better with dealing with that stuff it's unreal. And that's why a lot of people hate when on Twitter, when there's a dumb League of Legends Reddit thread kind of calling out content creators or calling out a specific content creator. That's why some people go, oh God, that person's just laughing about it on Twitter. You have to. Like, how else are you going to deal with it? Like, when you have thousands of people attacking your character. Like, it happened to Red Mercy recently, and he kind of was, like, joking about it on Twitter, and people really didn't like that. I know it's hard to say, but if just imagine you in that position, like you as Red Mercy, I'm sure he knows he makes kind of, clickbaity content and that. He's a nice guy, by the way. I've had a few conversations with him. He's a good player too. But you haven't, let's be honest, you haven't negatively impacted people's lives here. He's just making League of Legends content, but then you have thousands of people attacking his personal character. That's really rough. So to laugh about it, to make a joke about it, I think is a healthy thing to do. So yeah, obviously we've gone on a tangent from the original question, but I enjoy both of them. YouTube is more steady and neutral. Twitch has more highs than YouTube, but has also more lows. That's what I'd say. Definitely, And I love doing both of them. And I know some people who probably are not around anymore watching. My content for years was just me recording by myself, not having any interaction. And I've said it before, I could not continue doing that. I was getting depressed. Being in this room hours a day, recording content with no bounce off, nothing, no one asking a question, not having any interaction of any kind. I was legitimately getting depressed. So I made the decision I'm going to start streaming to make my content. And I know some people haven't enjoyed that because it's like, oh, it's too less focused on the YouTube video. But for my own mental, I had to do it. It's that simple. And I am very happy that I did do that. Maybe it hurt the YouTube channel, but obviously the Twitch channel has grown tremendously well this year as well. We've been averaging over 1,000 subscribers a month on Twitch in 2019. So yeah, like I'm really happy with how things have gone in general. So I love both of them. And there you go. Next up is, am I good? Simple question, am I good? The answer is yes, I am. I'm in a much better place now than I pretty much ever have been within the last 5 years. It does show wonders of what weight loss can do. So, for those that aren't aware, apparently, again, this camera angle sucks for showing it. I've done things on social media that, shows it a lot more, that I basically don't really have a stomach anymore. My stomach's relatively flat now. I'm in the gym, obviously, quite a bit. I've lost like 36, 37 pounds in just over 3 months now. I started losing weight actively September 12th. I'm recording this on December 15th. So yeah, lost about 36, 37 pounds, gone down from when I started, I was 35% body fat roughly. I am now basically 20% body fat, just actually under that now. So I've lost 15% body fat in that time too. And yeah, I do not consider myself overweight or fat at all anymore, really. So I still feel like I've got more to lose, but it's also now kind of it's shifting from weight loss completely to now actual fitness. Like in this area, I'm actually starting to get pretty muscular in this area again, where I used to be. So yeah, like that is making me feel really good. It does show that fitness mentally does a lot to you. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And other things are going good. I'm still here doing YouTube and Twitch, which asked me that when I first started. Would you be doing this for your job after university for like 3-4 years? Would not have thought that at all. We're still standing. Yeah. And, got the new car recently. Things are looking cool for 2020 in a lot of ways. So, there are negatives in life, but I try not to let them get me down, really. That's the important thing, is that in everybody's life, hell, you watch these people, even The Rock. Everyone looks at The Rock and is like, that dude's got like a perfect life. He'll have negatives, 100% he'll have negatives, but he doesn't focus on them. He doesn't let them drag him down. He continues going forward. So whatever it may be, anything. The politics of the world is crazy. Ignore it. I know it's easy to say, but ignore it. Don't let it get you down. As a content creator, if there's a hater, they're wasting their time. Just continue moving forward. Whatever it may be, you just keep going. Keep going forward. Don't stop. Don't go back. Forward. So that's what I'd say. All right, so those are all the YouTube community areas. Now we're going to go on to the Discord for a couple. So the first one is, what is my game of the year? Oh man. So the problem with this is time for me goes weird. So like earlier, a few days ago on stream, someone asked me this question and I was like, when did Red Dead, God of War, Detroit Become Human and Marvel Spider-Man come out? And everyone was like, that was 2018, Huz. I was like, oh. So the year's gone very fast for me. I don't know if I'm the only one, but this year seems to have been the fastest year of my life. It's just gone. Poof, gone. So really, and here's the funny thing. I'm probably going to say a game that I haven't even played. And people are going to be like, how's this going crazy? No, so I'm watching a playthrough of the game that I think is my game of the year. And they haven't completed it. I'm watching, whenever they upload an episode, I'm watching it in bed as like my little kind of TV show for the night, which I'm sure some people do for my commentaries. And hell, you right now in bed watching my video, how are you doing? I do what you do for other YouTubers. And I'm watching a playthrough of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order by, we mentioned him earlier, Jesse Cox. He's playing it with two of his friends. That is Jesse Cox himself has a Star Wars podcast called the New Canon Book Club. And those three are doing a playthrough. And I'm honestly going to say it right now, even if you do not watch Jesse or his friends, but you are interested in the game, feel free to start watching their playthrough. If you're interested in the game but you don't want to play it, you will laugh. You will cry with laughter in some of their conversations that they have while playing the game. It's amazing entertainment, and the game itself is also fantastic as well. Like, I was thinking about buying the game. I know myself I would thoroughly enjoy playing that game. I'm most likely going to pick it up down the line. Maybe, when it's the type of game that in a couple of months will probably be half price. So I'll probably do a playthrough of my own, playing it. But watching their playthrough, I'm honestly probably getting more enjoyment out of it with their commentary, with their input too. So yeah, I'd probably say my game of the year is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, even though I don't know the ending. I don't even know how far they are in the game. They could be halfway through. They could be nearly done. It's actually kind of hard to tell at the moment. And I'm not actually playing it myself. So there you go. Next up is favourite league moment of the year. I guess it counts. League 10 in London. So obviously getting invited to London for the League of Legends 10 anniversary, where they invited people who have influenced the game, people who have helped the game. And, we all went to London. We stayed at the Hard Rock Hotel, which was crazy fancy. Like, I can't imagine how much Riot spent on that event. And that was my favourite, on it. Like, not just league moment of the year, by the way. That's my favourite league moment ever. I've played this game for 10 years, and to be invited to that and, like, spend time with friends, chatting, testing new things. A lot of that, I was said you're allowed to talk about. I tested the mobile Wild Rift game. I was one of the people that, like, it was a cool feeling, basically, of, like, at the beginning of the day, there was a massive chat, and they're like, if you want to play, go sign up, over there, and some people will be selected to play. I wasn't going to do that, but then I literally had rioters come up to me going, yeah, you've been selected to play. Like, we want you to play. And I was like, okay. Me and Fi were those people. Fox was another one that they Riot wanted us to test it. So it's not like, oh yeah, I want to test it, let me put my name. Riot's like, we want them to test the game and get their opinion. That was a really cool feeling. Like, when a company's like, test this please. That was awesome. And by the way, that game was really good. Again, I know some people got Huz is biased. Yeah, sure. It's good. I'm not going to play it because there's no need for me to play it. I'm not a mobile gamer. I don't commute on a train for half an hour a day or whatever. If that's you, Wild Rift will be amazing, by the way. Or if you're a university student, if I was still a university student and I had an hour to kill in between a lecture or something, perfect game would be Wild Rift. Trust me, it was really good. And obviously for console gamers, they can now get into League of Legends too. So yeah, my favourite League of Legends moment of the year and of all time was League 10. I spoke to the CEO of Riot for about 10 minutes, talking about stuff. Different designers came up to me, and that was a weird feeling. And it was like, because on your name badge, my name badge will be back there somewhere. It has Huzzy on it, and they're like, oh God, Huzzy, I know you, blah, blah, blah. That was cool. It was just kind of like, what's the way to say it? And I know it's kind of like, it might sound a bit big-headed, but I've been doing this for a long time, YouTube and stuff. Sometimes you kind of go, have I done anything good for League of Legends? You never know if you do. That event made me kind of go, yeah, I think I have. You know, one, I got invited here. Secondly, I've got designers coming up to me and general, you know, rioters coming up to me to talk to me specifically. I was one of two people from the UK. They asked me to stream in one of the pods. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen if I remember. It was me and Kiandi Mundi, obviously separate sessions, but they only asked two people from the UK to stream from the event in one of the pods. I was chosen as one of those people. It was just magic. Like it was everything that I wanted and more from it. Honestly, it was more than I expected from the event. So that will be a memory that, you know, without putting a dull moment on it, let's say I've got a few years left of being a content creator. In 10 years' time, when whatever the hell I'm doing in life, if I'm a pilot, etc., when I look back on the times of being a YouTuber and streamer and League, I will remember a lot of you guys, the community, especially those that get more involved. You know, some of you by name I know quite well now. We have fun conversations on the Discord server, and if you've been around here for years, thank you. So I will remember you guys. I'll remember making the content, but I will remember that event incredibly fondly. It was really good, and I do hope that more of that stuff does happen down the line. I have been in some talks with certain people. Let's just say the other day on Twitter, the head of influencers and content creators for the new FPS game for Riot followed me on Twitter for something. So yeah, hopefully 2020's got some cool things also. But I'm going to be honest, I don't know if any of them are going to top the League 10 event. All right, so we'll answer. How long we've been going? Like about 40 minutes. So yeah, we'll answer a bit more. Not too much though, but it is a bit obviously longer than what we've been doing. What do I want for Christmas? Just a nice day with family. A good meal. That's it. Again, the older you get, I think, I don't know. It's the general premise. The older you get, you kind of care less about that one item. I don't care about gifts, really. And I will say it is from a fortunate place that if I want something throughout the year, yeah, I just kind of buy it if it's not a stupid thing to buy. You know, if it's a crazy expensive thing, sure, I'll have to think about it a lot more or not buy it. But by the time Christmas comes, it's like I haven't really had that thing that I've been waiting the whole year to get because I've already probably bought it. So I just want a really nice day. You know, a nice day, a little bit of time off with family, watching a movie. I bought recently, my sister said, because, you know, we normally play a board game on Christmas, me and my family. This year we're doing Mario Kart with the Switch. And I obviously, for my Switch, only had the only Joy-Cons I had were the ones that came with it. But obviously there's 4 of us. So I had to recently buy a new pair of Joy-Con. And because obviously with Mario Kart, you just need one of the halves to play. So I recently bought that. So we'll be playing Mario Kart probably for a few hours on Christmas Day, which is going to be hilarious because none of my families are gamers at all. So that's going to be great. But yeah, it would be great. That's all I want really, is a nice day. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great day as well. You know, of me recording this video, uploading this video, there's only a few days left really, like a week maybe till Christmas. All right, next up is... what is my favourite champion / rework that came out this year? And because I could guess it's probably going to be Set, I'm going to specifically say release, not PBE. Oh, okay. So Set is banned from me answering because, yes, Set on my gut instinct would probably be my favourite. And because I actually see myself playing a lot of Set, by the way. He just seems to mesh with me perfectly. Apart from Set, of something new this year... See, again, it's remembering what the hell came out this year. Did Pyke come out this year, or was he 2018? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Why do people ask hard questions that I don't remember when the dates are? If Pyke came out this year, then Pyke. I have a funny feeling that he didn't. Let me quickly Google. When did Pyke come out? Pyke release date. May 2018. Oh, well, I'm a bit off there, aren't I? What the hell came out this year? I have no idea. Sorry, again, off the top of my head, I don't remember that stuff. Can I just say set? I know you banned set. I'm breaking the rules. Huz is going rogue. I'm just gonna say set. Next up is what would be my dream holiday. Japan. I will go there one day when I have, as sad as it sounds, people to go with, friends to go with or whatever, partner to go with. Japan will be the dream holiday. Not because I'm a weeb. I just want to go. It's that simple. I've never been to Asia. I love the food. I don't actually have Japanese food actually that often though, but I do like it whenever I have it. To me, it's more the buzz of the city. I live basically in a city, but it's a kind of different type of city. It's not chaotic. It's not like human traffic jams. It's more of a chill city. But everything that I've seen with Japan, it just fascinates me. What will probably sell me 100% on the holiday is, again, not sponsored obviously, but James May of the Grand Tour and obviously Top Gear, he's got a series coming out in the new year on Amazon of James May, I guess, in Japan. And he's exploring everything about Japan. And I think that will be a really good series to kind of see what Japan's more about. I know a lot about it. I've actually, my friend and his girlfriend are going next year too, so I'm sure he will probably tell us a lot about it, because I think he's doing my dream, that he's going Tokyo for 1 week and then he's going Kyoto for another week. That's literally what I would do. So you've got new school of Tokyo, you've got old school of Kyoto, the old capital. That would be kind of the dream. So I'm sure I'll definitely go, for sure. But in time, really, in time. So yeah, next up is favorite car of 2019. Favorite car of 2019. Does my car is my favorite car, because my car came out this year, the new model. Yes, I might be slightly biased here, but yes, my new car. I got a I don't know what you call it, a 2020 or 2019 Mercedes CLA AMG line. They updated the CLA. The old CLA had pretty bad reviews because it was built on a pretty poop platform. They completely updated the car. That, they could have even called it a different model, but it's completely different. I've got that car now. I traded in obviously my old 2017 BMW 2 Series for it. And yeah, I love my new car. It's a lot more powerful than I'm used to. Technology-wise, it's stupid for technology. I've got internet in my car. I've got an internet browser. I can watch my YouTube videos in my car, on my car. I don't know why I'd ever want to do that, but I can. Yeah, my car is my favorite car, but I might be slightly biased. There was probably some Ferrari Pista or something that came out this year. Screw that. My car's better. I'll put an image on the screen now if I remember. Ta-da! Nice. Remember, by the way, gym vlogs are back, but although it's a bad timing, really, because obviously this time of year is very busy. I want to go to the gym a lot, but I'm also incredibly busy with getting as much content recorded as possible, so I can't go to the gym as much as I want. So in the new year, I'll be going a lot. So that means gym vlogs are affected a little bit. So yeah, but yeah, my car. Hell yeah. Favorite American foods you can't get in the UK. This might be... Maybe, okay, we'll answer this one, then we'll answer one more. Oh, two more, actually. Yeah, we'll go longer than I even expected. My favourite foods that you can't get here that you can in America. So, I'd say the biggest one you technically can get here in the UK, and I know a lot of people are going to literally laugh at me for saying this. You can get it, it's just very rare. Taco Bell, baby. Again, Taco Bell. I have memories, and again, a lot of it is nostalgia, that I grew up, and I say, in a pretty fortunate position, that me and my family used to go to America twice a year. For the first, I'd say, 14 or 15 years of my life, we went to America twice a year. To Disney, Florida, by the way. So, and very fond memories. I used to go there 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and we didn't restaurant every night. Or we used to obviously have a villa, and a few times while we were out there, we had a Taco Bell for dinner, and it was amazing, literally amazing. And you can get them here, but they're just rare. Me and Fi are doing a meet. We're going to meet up in probably now the new year, because again, things are a bit busy. So we're going to meet at a location that's kind of in between where we both live. It's a bit of a drive though. It's going to be like an hour drive to get to a Taco Bell for both of us. So we're going to meet up, have a nice time, chill out a bit. He's got a new car. I've got a new car. We want to both look at the cars, etc. But, Fi's a great friend of mine anyway. So it'll be nice to see him at a Taco Bell. But apart from that, a lot of the Taco Bells are either in London, they're in main cities, or in military bases here in the UK. So we have some military bases here in the UK, like Mildenhall, I think, might be one. Lakenheath might be another. That these are American military bases in the UK. Some of them are about an hour and a half away from where I live. And I think you can go on them. A friend of mine did when he passed his driving test when he was 18. One of his first drives, and he said it was a bit daunting, I guess, was he went to one of the military bases and legit pulled up to the security check mark. They're like, what is your visit? Because they're all American. When you're on one of these military bases, by the way, everything's American. You are on American soil legally, and everything's in dollars and everything. It's America in Britain. And he was like, what is your purpose of your visit today, sir? Want to go to Taco Bell. Okay, carry on, but only turn right, park at the Taco Bell and then come straight on out. No dilly-dallying, nothing. He was allowed in for a Taco Bell. So I think you're technically allowed to go on them. But obviously it's a bit, when people have M4s or whatever at the gate, it's like, is this really worth to go get a Taco Bell for? Probably not. So yeah, Taco Bell is probably the number one, weirdly. But some of the restaurants have fond memories about too. Tony Roma's, I remember their ribs being amazing. We don't have Tony Roma's here. Outback Steakhouse, weirdly, I remember that being pretty good. And I know these are just chains, I think, in America, but they're just better than the ones that we have in the UK. What's the one? There's one that there's peanuts everywhere on the floor. I bet that doesn't. Does that still? If you're American, does that place still exist? That you've got peanuts, and once you're done with eating your peanut with the shell, you just threw the shell on the floor. How would that place exist with people now with peanut allergies? I guess they know not to go to that place, but still, what? I don't know what that place was. Was it like a Roadhouse or something? That place was pretty good. That might be all that I remember. Oh, I guess it kind of counts. In Disney, well, not Disney, in Epcot in Florida, they have all the different countries. The country foods are amazing. There was one. Oh, what's the one that you go up into like the pyramid and you go into it and then it kind of was it Mexico? And it opens up into like a whole underground and there's like a gondola type thing going. That restaurant's like the best in the whole world. Like, I love that place. I need to go back to Florida apparently. So yeah, there. But mainly Taco Bell, weirdly. Next up is two more, like this one, and then one more after, is do I think League's balance system has gotten better or worse, by meaning with buffing and nerfing champions accordingly in the right manner? It's probably got better, but it's just harder to think it's got better because we mentioned earlier is, there's nearly now, I think with set, it makes it 148 champions. Like we said earlier, 148 champions that can be played all against each other in different ways, different combos. You have crazy amounts of items. Like, there's just too much to balance in the game, and I don't know how much Riot has been expanding their balance team, and I just don't think the balance team has managed to keep up with what is in the game. So I think they're doing an okay job considering everything. But yeah, occasionally if that one or two champions slip by, them and the PBE, which let's face it, it's going to slip by the PBE. I don't blame the balance team pretty much ever for when something goes wrong, because I think it's just too much for them to balance, and they are quick to they're mainly quick to fix it. A lot of people just don't, they latch onto that's overpowered, but then they don't pay attention that a hotfix came in a day after. They usually do hotfixes really quickly. And then the final one is, how do I feel about champion mains subreddits? I mean, it's cool that if you have a champion that you like, you instantly have a community that you can go to and talk to the champion about. But from what I've seen about them, and this is just, me from an outsider, I'm not part of any champion subreddit because obviously I play too many champions. I have seen them be a relatively toxic environment that, like, they don't like outsiders. They hate content creators playing their champions who are like not a YouTuber, not a one trick or something. Like, I've seen that, several times people have made a thread of about me playing their champion. Akali's Huzzy's playing Akali, or Huzzy's playing the Pantheon, and then people go, oh, he's only played it once or twice, he doesn't have an opinion. it's a very inclusive community, and it's also the community that freaks out the most when a rework happens too. So I think they're cool because you instantly have something to bond with other people, like-minded people who like the champion, but I think it very quickly can become a toxic environment as well. But anyway, that's going to be it. That is the Q&A for today. Remember, we are giving away some of the league partner codes, so make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what region you are, what summoner name you are to enter. Again, if you've got any more questions, that can be your comment. Ask a question. I'll be in the comments. You know, I can type answers to people as well. But as I said, thank you so much for the support for this year, everybody. If you are somebody that watches these Q&As, thank you. Like, I enjoy doing them. This has been actually a longer one than I expected to do. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm sure the first half an hour or so would have been some footage in the background. I think of my memory, we might use the Syndra game that I got very fed on Syndra, and then unfortunately we had another AFKing teammate. It's in preseason, it's uncanny how much it's happening, but then in the last 20 minutes or so you've probably just had me on screen because I don't know how many spare footage I have. But that's gonna be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a subscribe, comment down below to enter and all that good stuff, and I will see you when it comes to a Q&A. I will see you in the new year. Have a great time at Christmas. If you are somebody that randomly only watches my Q&A videos, which I doubt that's anyone, but yeah, have a great time. Hopefully you enjoy all the other content that we're uploading over the Christmas period. And just to make it clear, there will be no, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, there will be no content break. So 2 videos a day, every single day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the few days after, there will be no break for a couple reasons. One, I don't want to do it a break. You know, I prepare the content ahead of time. I'm not going to be live doing it, but I'll be preparing it ahead of time. But it's because, one, not all of my audience celebrates Christmas, so if you don't, it's just going to be a normal Wednesday to you. So, you know, you just want your content like normal. So that's one reason. 2, Christmas, I have heard, is a relatively lonely time for some people, and obviously if I can help you out, if that is you, unfortunately, you know, I feel for you, and hopefully my videos, if it takes up an hour, hour and a half of your day, then that will be awesome for you, and hopefully that's cool. And then, you know, that I just want, you know, people to enjoy the content, so I never like to go on a break for that type of thing. So yeah, I will see you guys next time anyway. Have a good day and good luck in whatever you're doing, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.